Good evening, sports fans. We've got results from today's NBA games, plus an update from Game 3 of the PBA Commissioner's Cup Finals.
And representatives from FIFA and the Philippine Football Federation join us live to talk about what's in store for Philippine football and futsal this year.
It's a packed show on a Wednesday. I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Lutengkalaw.
And here's tonight's play-by-play.
Ramiro, the show by Mamoy Lee. Puts it on. On the left side. Oh, the pass! Nothing another one. Bacunas rejecting Estejo for the win.
With Steph Curry out, the Golden State Warriors lean on Jimmy Butler to tow them past the Milwaukee Bucks. Jimmy Buckets was in his element, tallying an all-around game of 24 points, 8 rebounds, and 10 assists as the Dubs beat the Deer 104-93 in Santo. Curry was given the night off for a mental and emotional break for Warriors head coach Steve Kerr. Brandon Podziemski started in Steph's place and put up 17 markers and 7 boards. The win helps the Warriors improve to 5-1 in their current 7-game homestand. Overall, the Bay remains at 6th in the West with 40 wins and 29 losses. Kyle Kuzma paced the Bucks with 22 points as Giannis Antetokounmpo and Damian Lillard had respective off nights. The two stars combined for an 11 of 34 shooting clip for a total of just 36 points. Milwaukee, number 5 in the East, with 38 wins against 30 losses. Here's Pods talking about the win in his first game back from a 5-game absence due to a low back strain.
From performance standpoint, pretty good. I could tell I'm not 100% kind of defensively because it's like a nervous feeling when you come back from something with your back. Every movement you make, kind of goes through your back. So just being able to trust myself with different movements that I'm accustomed to making. It allows everybody to, you understand what Steph brings, and without that, there's a lot of fulfillment that needs to go on. And so I think everybody plays, a little bit more confident out there, understands that there's going to be more shots for them. And so, like I said, they're both great players, different in their own right. And so game to game, if Jimmy's out or Steph's out, you just got to adjust how you play a little bit, and that's fine because we have good players.
Just a couple of days after seeing their 16-game winning streak snapped, the league-leading Cleveland Cavaliers falter again, this time to the LA Clippers. The Clips dropped a 20-3 run, bridging the third and fourth quarters to establish a 12-point lead. The Cavs tried to fight back, but fell short down the stretch. Final score, 132-119. Kawhi Leonard had a game-high 33 points, including 5 of 6 from deep. Ivica Zubac was also unstoppable down low, tallying 28 markers and 20 rebounds. The Clips have won 4 in a row and are 8th in the West with 39 wins and 30 losses. As for the Cavs, this is the first time they've lost back-to-back since late January. But they still have a pretty comfortable lead in the East with a 56-12 record. Here's Cleveland coach Kenny Atkinson talking about what went wrong in that game.
They played great. Elite shot-making performance by them. Poor defensive performance by us. In that, sure they shot the ball great, maybe a little over their head, but our lack of discipline, fouling them, putting them on the line, and then giving them second chance points. So even though they did have a elite shot-making game, we didn't do the little things, weren't disciplined, on the margins. And that's why you give up 132 points. Just got to be better. That kind of defensive performance, you're not surviving in a playoff atmosphere, playoff situation. So, and they ramped their physicality up, I felt, in the second half especially. But, listen, they're a heck of a team. I mean, when they're healthy and Kawhi, that's vintage Kawhi. I mean, that's Kawhi. elite Kawhi. He was great. Then they got good vets around. They're a heck of a team.
Meantime, the Boston Celtics flex their depth once again as they complete a season series sweep of the Brooklyn Nets. The C's chose to rest their superstar duo of Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but still got the W, 104-96. The Nets did hold their own in the early goings of the game, even going up by 5 at the halftime break. But the defending champs picked up the pace in the second half with Kristaps Porzingis and that man right there, rookie Baylor Shireman, leading the way. KP scored 25 points on 9 of 13 shooting to go with 13 boards and 3 blocks. Meantime, the former latent product, Shireman, sparked Boston's fourth quarter takeover by hitting 3 triples en route to his career high of 20 markers. D'Angelo Russell tried to carry the load for the Brooklyn Nets with a team-high 18 points in a losing cause. The C's tightened their hold on the second seed in the East with 50 wins and 19 losses. As for the Nets, they settled for 13th in the East with 23 victories and 36 setbacks.
From one sweep to another, the Atlanta Hawks go 4-0 against the Charlotte Hornets this season, claiming their last victory in blowout fashion. The Hornets were without LaMelo Ball due to wrist soreness, as well as Miles Bridges, who sat out to get some rest. And the Hawks took full advantage, soaring to a 20-7 edge to open the game and never looking back. Atlanta grew its lead to as many as 36 points before settling for the 134-102 win. Trae Young bucked early foul trouble and dropped a game-high 31 points to go with 8 assists. Defensive Player of the Year candidate Dyson Daniels added 22 markers, 7 boards as many times, and 3 steals. Daniels now has 192 swipes for the season, which is the most by any NBA player in the last 15 years. First overall pick Zach Ricochet finished with 21 points, including 4 triples in the decisive third period. The Hawks remain at 7th place in the East with 33 wins and 36 losses. The Hornets are still the second worst team in the conference, having only 17 victories against 51 defeats. At the post-game press conference, Atlanta head coach Quinn Snyder talked about their winning approach and Ice Trae's veteran leadership.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, is you want to play well, and you never know what is going to happen. And when I say that, you want to do the things that, kind of fundamentally that are your identity as a team. So that to me, I thought, we had some really good defensive possessions, particularly in the second half, and they've got with Williams just has a presence at the rim, and Nurkic too, and we were looking for each other and playing with the pass, so that part of it I like to see. I thought the way that he played, as much as, the result was a big deal, and, picking up he's a vet, he knows how to, avoid some of those situations, and, we were able to I got him back in at one point when they put us in a box and one, and so some of those things that were good for him to have to kind of work through as well. And I liked that he kept playing even though he was in foul trouble.
From the NBA, let's go to the PBA here at home. It's Game 3 of the Commissioner's Cup Finals between the TNT Tropang Giga and Barangay Ginebra San Miguel. What a series so far. Let's go to the first half here in Game 3. It was a tight battle. Take a look at that play. Boy Aram to the backdooring Ronde Hollis Jefferson. The Tropang Giga jumped out to a 5-point lead on a couple of 3-pointers from the Stingray, Ray Nambatak, and Calvin Oftana, plus that beautiful post move from R.R. Pogoy. But Justin Brownlee responded for Ginebra, scoring from inside and out to keep things close. After the first 12 minutes of action, the score was tied at 17-all. Ginebra did manage to pull away late in the second period to take a slight lead at the break, 48-42. Now, whoever wins this match will take a 2-1 lead in the series. Game 4 will take place this Friday at 7:30 p.m. when the series shifts from the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. It goes up to the Inares Center in Antipolo. Coming up here on Play by Play, it's all about football and futsal when we return as we talk to Philippine Football Federation, or PFF, and FIFA representatives live inside the studio. Catch that here on Play by Play, only on One News. And we're back. Thank you for joining us here on Play by Play, only on One News. We'll check another busy year for Philippine football. I know that makes you really happy. And all the football fans and futsal fans, if I may add, with several competitions lined up for the year.
And that includes the inaugural FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup, which the country will host from November 21 to December 7. Joining us now live to talk about that and more are FIFA Tournament Director Jaime Yarza, Philippine Football Federation President John Gutierrez, and local organizing committee member Belay Fernando de la Cruz. Welcome to Play by Play. Thank you for joining us. I know you've been doing the rounds in the media, and I think we're your fifth stop for the game.
Something like that. They've been very, very busy.
Thank you.
Came from the starting lineup and a whole bunch of shows. It was a long day. Buenas noches, señor. Thank you. Muchas gracias. And sir, good to see you again.
Good to see you.
Yeah, last time we saw each other when they launched the kits for the Philippine men's football team, correct?
Right.
And Madam, it's nice of you to be gracing our show.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so we can kick things off with the FIFA Futsal Women's World
Yeah.
Cup. Huge event coming to the Philippines. How are the preparations so far, Belay?
I mean, you know, just 2 years ago we were participating in a World Cup, and now we were given the honor of hosting one, and the very first one of its kind at that. So of course, a lot of people, new people joining in, of course under the leadership of President John and our GenSec, with the guidance of course of FIFA in every step of the way. A lot is happening. It was just given, we won the bid not 1 year ago, and so it moved really at a fast pace. Just a lot of preparations and a lot of things in store for everyone. So we're really looking forward to the support and the excitement of the fans for this.
Belay, I'll stay with you and then we'll go to Sir John in just a bit. The Philippines will also host the inaugural FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup from November 21st to December 7, as you said. And the preparations. But let's talk about the tournament. Who's playing? What's at stake here?
Okay, so obviously in a World Cup, you become champions of the world, Andre. But, you know,
I actually, you know,
no,
I should,
really?
I was just reading that, but I should have came up with a different question in my head. But
And of course, being the host, we have the privilege of being the first in the lineup of the teams that will be participating.
Yeah.
And of course, New Zealand out of Oceania. But the other teams are still qualifying to come out of Asia, Europe, and the Americas, of course, and Africas. So we're still waiting, and so far 2 teams are waiting for them. And as I said, you become champion of the world in the world of women's
tanong
futsal.
natin si Boss John. Boss John, you've been at the helm for just a few years now.
A little over a year.
A little over a year, yeah, I remember. How ready are we, and how has it been with you, you know, at the helm and the driver's seat? I know it has been very, very tough. It was like it's a roller coaster ride for you. But now with the events lineup, with the World Cup, how are we doing?
Well, like you said, being at the helm, it's a tough job, but being given the opportunity to hold such a prestigious event, you know, it takes all those troubles away. We're very fortunate to have won the bid to host the first ever FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup. It's not just a World Cup; it's one of FIFA's 4 quadrennial events, and hosting the first ever. It's something. I mean, you always remember the first. You always remember the first, and this is going to be very historic. We're very grateful for FIFA for giving us again the hosting privileges and having the confidence they placed on our shoulders. Is something that we're excited to, you know, showcase for the rest of the world to see Filipino true hospitality. You know, so we're excited. We're excited. Pretty much that's the word of the from the federation is the excitement of it. It's just overwhelming. It trumps all of the other, you know, all the other troubles and all the other issues. So yeah.
Right, well, Jaime, we've heard Belay and John mention, you know, the bidding and all that. Can you take us through the process as to how the Philippines became the first host of the FIFA Futsal Women's World Cup, and what can we expect as, you know, this is going to be the first in our country as well?
Well, at the end, it's a decision from the FIFA Council, which it means it's a political decision. But the reality is that around 6 to 7 countries bid for the right to host this tournament, which is a very high number, I must say. And we did an evaluation about all the bidders and all the countries that were willing really to host this tournament. And our recommendation was to go with the Philippines, which we were very happy, obviously, that the FIFA Council followed that, due to various reasons. One of them was the strong commitment from the federation to host this tournament. We could read through the whole papers that were presented that the country, the government, was really interested and behind the project, so really was supportive of hosting this World Cup here. And this is for us extremely important because it helps us to create a legacy for the sport in the country and a legacy for women. And this is one of the main reasons why we host these tournaments. It's not just one shot, we come, we play, we go. We want something to happen in the country thanks to the World Cup. And we really saw that the country being behind it, the government being behind the tournament, would mean that we could really, together with the federation, create a program for the girls and the women in this country and get futsal to a new level and to a very big development, empower women with sport.
Well, I'm sure by now you are already aware that here in the Philippines, of course, we were colonized by Spaniards, and football is big in Spain, right? But here, basketball is up there, you know this, but football is already getting up there. What did you see in the Philippines and the growth of the sport here in the Philippines that really enticed you and say that the future looks bright for football here in the Philippines?
Well, one of the first things is that it's growing. There is no doubt about it. There is a lot of growth in the world of football in the Philippines and in the world of futsal. There is programs that are in place through various NGOs, government authorities since over 12 years, where futsal is being played by girls and boys, mostly by girls in schools. That means there is a development happening there. I'll give you an example of something that it's pretty similar to what we hope is going to happen here, but even better. We did the Under-17 Women's World Cup in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
Dominican Republic, the main sports is basketball and volleyball.
Volleyball, yes.
The highest attendance of a football match ever, was one of the matches of the Under-17 girls in Dominican Republic.
Really?
With over 30,000 people. That
Wow.
shows that football is growing in the Dominican Republic, which in that sense is
Similar
similar
here
to
in the
what the Philippines
yeah,
is
correct,
happening.
Correct, yes.
And that the people were really interested in seeing the girls from a young age playing football in their country. We're convinced that the work that we're doing together with the Federation and the support of Victoria City and the city of Manila, we can bring futsal and football to a new level in the Philippines, not only through the tournament, as I said before, but on the long run with good programs of legacy and development that will bring the game to a new level. And I think that from the physique perspective of Filipinos, football is a very good game
Yes.
for girls and for boys.
I agree. Wholeheartedly. As someone
who's
who
good
is
at the
only
sport,
5'3", I wholeheartedly agree. Thank you. I wish we had more time. We could talk football all day, every day. But thank you for joining us. We really appreciate you making the stop here on Play by Play. And thank you for your time, FIFA Tournament Director Jaime Yarza, Philippine Football Federation President John Gutierrez, and local organizing committee member Belay Fernando de la Cruz. We hope to have you guys back on the show when the tournament
Maybe
actually
tomorrow.
starts.
Thank you once again for dropping by.
Salamat.
Maraming salamat.
Thank you
Muchas
very much.
gracias. Thank you, Boss
Thank
you
John.
for having
Thank you,
us.
Belay.
All right, coming up, the final four teams in the 2025 Spikers Turf Open Conference are officially set. A look into the last game day of the elimination round when Play by Play returns. Welcome back. You're watching Play-by-Play on One News. It's a 10-game elimination round sweep for the Crisscross King Crunchers in the 2025 Spikers Turf Open Conference. Crisscross wrapped up their elimination campaign by beating the PGJC Navy Sea Lions in straight sets, 25-18, 25-17, and 25-19. Backup setter Jewel Asia made the most of the starting role as he delivered 14 excellent sets. Meanwhile, the Signal HD Spikers powered past the Alpha Insurance Protectors in 4 sets, 25-19, 25-20, 19-25, and 25-20. Ruvens Abrot sparked Signal's offense with 15 points. And to cap off the day, the Savoj Spin Doctors took care of business against the VNS Lady Crete in straight sets, 25-19, 25-18, and 25-22. Mark Calado was his dominant self as he put up 18 points and 10 excellent jigs. Despite the loss, the Griffins are still getting the final semi-slot since the HD Spikers defeated the Protectors.
Okay, good news for PBA fans. Baka kasi sinasabi niyo, puro na lang NBA. Eto, may isang PBA play kami for you. Game 3, ongoing right now, Ginebra TNT. Let's go right it to the Phil Sports Arena in Pasig. And backdoor! Ronde, too late on the recovery is Brownlee. But what a play there. Just looking at each other. Look at Aram and then RHJ. We know Stephen Hall, really great defender. Naiwan and then RHJ breakaway for that slam. Too late on the recovery is Brownlee. Game still currently ongoing. And it's in the third period. As we're speaking, it's still a really tight battle between TNT and Ginebra. Series is tied 1 game apiece. TNT took game 1, Ginebra took game 2. Now moving on to the NBA. Clippers, Cavs here. James Harden turning back the clock. Vintage against a very good defender, Evan Mobley. Oh, there, crossover. Goes back to the left, snatch back, the hezzy, and then look at Harden. He can't even believe what he just pulled. That's some vintage MVP-like beard move. Take a look at this move by James Harden. Whew, he went to Mobley all the way for the lay-in. Harden finishing with 22 points, 9 assists as the Clippers win this one against the East leading Cavaliers, 132-119. Whew, wow, what a game. Now on to the Warriors. Bucks action in Sanfo. No Curry, no problem. Butler against KPJ. Step back, gets a fake. Veteran moves. Bucket plus the foul. Bang, bang, bang. Sabi nga ni Magu, may kasama pang foul. What a move there by Butler. Getting the foul on KPJ. Veteran moves. And I'm sure Cheska, some way, somehow, still wishing Butler still in with the Miami Heat. No? You don't wish? Okay. Butler enjoying, and he's, without Curry, Warriors winning here in San Francisco. Butler, by the way, 24 points, 8 boards, 10 assists. Warriors win, but without Steph, beating the Bucks 104-93. Check.
Iniwanan kasi kami.
Akala mo ba ayaw mo?
Jimmy! Before we go, we want to congratulate Japan B-League star Kiefer Ravena and his fiancée Diana Mackey, who are expecting their first child. Ravena shared the exciting news on Instagram, posting a photo of himself with Mackey's arms wrapped around his neck, and in her hands, a pair of tiny shoes and a sonogram printout, a sweet reveal of their growing family. Ravena and Mackey went public with their relationship in October last year and got engaged shortly after. Again, congratulations to Kiefer and Diana.
Bards, D, congratulations. We were at the Ravena household last Friday. Whole family is happy. You know who's very, very happy aside from Kiefer and D? Tita Mozi Ravena, first apo by the Ravenas, Tito Bong, and of course, Danny also happy, excited to be a tita, and I'm sure 30 as well. Congratulations once again to the Ravena and the Mackey family. That's all from us tonight. Catch us again tomorrow at 8:30 p.m. for a play-by-play of today's top sports stories.
Play-by-play is on One News. That's Signal TV, Channel 8 on SD, and Channel 250 on HD. We are also available on Signal Play and Pilipinas Live.
I'm Andre Felix.
And I'm Cheska Calao. Thank you for watching. Good night.